that happened after our third goal. But
Fletcher,
I told him,
elder statesman now in this United squad, 30 years of age.
So after the third goal, he was playing central defender in the back five.
A lot of experience in the summer. Ryan Giggs retiring, Vidic going, Rio Ferdinand going, and Patrice Evra.
Any more chance?
A lot of experience to lose in one hit. Plus Michael Carrick being out for 3 months.
He's a sergeant, you know, he's a guy that you can.
Yeah, will be a big club, big blow for
attitude is phenomenal. That's why I always thought and told you many times that for me it's not just about the goals he score. It's about what he brings to the team, and he brings to the team exactly that.
We still have this man, Wayne Rooney. Young. He needs to deliver the cross.
Deserved. Obviously deserved.
It's a decent cross, but you do feel if there's anything over head height that's going into the box, and Liverpool should be favourites with Skirtle, Sacco.
Hopefully he can continue.
Up against Rooney, Mata, Hernandez.
Congratulations, Mo. His attitude, his character.
That's massive blow for Manchester United, losing Michael Carrick. Excellent in that holding position, distributing the ball. Spots all the trouble, spots all the gaps in defence and midfield. It's a big loss for Manchester United.
For a few games I cannot remember them really, but it was not at his top level, and then somebody else stepped up and made a decision for us, and so that helps, of course, if we don't score this amount.
These two are going after each other in this final, as you'd expect when it's Manchester United against Liverpool. Steven Gerrard stepping up to the plate for the penalty spot to fire Liverpool in front at the break. United 0, Liverpool 1.
Since the last few months, maybe not from the beginning, but we always found somebody else who could make them the difference.
Well, Liverpool's live birds, which watch over the city, have looked out east and seen Manchester United wrestle power away from Merseyside since the Premier League began. Well, last season, Liverpool came alive again in a title race. Ultimately, they fell short.
I don't think that game needs any
feels it belongs challenging at the top again, despite losing their best player. They're looking to make a statement here against Manchester United. Liverpool lead by a goal to nil. An early penalty.
It always is in these games are difficult as well.
So far,
we need to be at 100%, if not even a few more.
Brought on Tyler Blackett, the young centre half,
we'll get something
at the break here.
That's the plan. So I think it's a good moment to go there, but it's still an unbelievably difficult moment. Man United has outstanding quality, we all know that. They have a home game, which we would say it's an advantage for us if we play at Anfield.
Replacing Johnny Evans, and Tom Cleverley is also on.
That advantage, and it's
our job game time in place of Darren Fletcher.
Nobody can see that. Very experienced team. Very experienced man.
He was captain against Roma earlier on in this tournament. He's looking to win over his many critics.
I would never use that other thing.
He doesn't have that many in the game. If you talk to the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, Roberto Martinez, who had him at Wigan, they are big fans of Cleverley.
He's not the inventor of the word parking the bus.
I call it Manchester United players as well will be trying to win over the new head coach.
I would never use that. So in this specific game, so if I have absolutely no problem with
fiercely contested pre-season.
I know how the situation is in the moment, what people are saying. They play a specific kind of football, we play a specific kind of football, and now it's everybody makes a big
has been the biggest test for Manchester United so far
thing of it, but it's all about winning.
Friendlies that they have had competition, 7-0 win against LA Galaxy was prior to this competition.
But we have another.
This certainly is the most competitive match.
We have another history in the last few years, so the big rivalries since 80s, I would say, but in the last few years, obviously, Man United was more successful than us. That's the truth. And we respect that. It doesn't disturb the moment, to be honest, but it's
so far has been a pretty good pre-season for Manchester United.
And so, and this United team has a specific way of playing football. That's all. And if we have to defend there, we have to defend there with all we have, and not gambling, thinking. we are flying and play this and that against Man United, but nobody flies.
He's a Mancunian who
too strong,
joined the club aged 8.
Steven
Gerrard has intervened here for Liverpool. And now
it's not a battle of systems or philosophies. It's two very good football teams will face each other. And when United will attack, I hope all my players are involved in defending.
It's an awkward pass for Steven Gerrard, too hard,
and if somebody says then that was parking the bus, and
touch and control it.
We parked the bus, there's no problem with that. But
power on the pass eventually for Blackburn just to guide it onwards towards goal.
97 minutes, we want to
bring
our football on the pitch as well, and that's how we know difficult to cope with as well.
Louis van Gaal has warned that it may take United 3 months to fully fire to get his philosophy across.
I don't think there will be a lot of space for in a lot of moments.
Started slowly at other clubs, but he has delivered titles.
In general, these games were in general.
It will take at least 3 months, but in that 3 months they have to win games.
At the end with a positive result for us.
They do have a good enough squad to do that. The fixture list has been kind to them.
Coutinho.
That's not modifying. We have to bring the right
Herrera, perfect ball from Coutinho, and this is Raheem Sterling on his right foot, deflected.
Counter-attacking team like United.
United opened up, and Raheem Sterling almost made them pay.
Unbelievably important.
Really good position. Raheem Sterling, fantastic pass from Coutinho.
Fantastic attitude.
Sterling does well though. He's not too wide.
At your best, that's how it is. So
once he receives the ball,
it's easy to sit at
home
and really think about this.
Liverpool
scores
just about buy enough
like
time
they want.
to get some help.
The case, but maybe sometimes that's the message to
attempt wide.
He's got a real cracker against Manchester City, which was ruled out late on, wrongly for offside. Sterling cutting in onto his right foot.
2 points more than us. That's it.
Perfect ball from Coutinho.
We don't want to show how good we are. We want to have the result, and that's the only reason why we go there.
Steven Gerrard.
The main difference
Saka will try and attack it. Phil Jones gets to it.
To all the other big games we have
this one matter
had in the Champions League or from it's Manchester, so it's quite close. It makes it even more interesting for the local fans. But maybe on the other hand, we have to do our really good things, our important tools. We have to use them constantly. That's how it is. And then we have the ball. We have to play football against a very strong side. They
just watches. Nothing you can do about it.
If they defend deep, it makes our life not easier. So that's how it is. But I don't expect that to be all the time like this, because they don't do it all the time. They have counterattacks. They have their own moments. They play football. And if you can win a ball in 1 or 2 situations of that and can use the space in their back then, would help us.
For Liverpool last season. He was doing the business in the big games.
Attacking team against one defending team. They have massive quality. I know that.
Matches against the likes of United and Manchester City and Arsenal.
Our plan. Look, we cannot shoot in that
showing his pace
like this because it's yes, obviously they're 2 points ahead of us. So
just over the head of Hernandez.
We have 1 point more. It's not a big decision for the rest of the season.
Again.
If we draw, still 2 behind. If we lose, 5 behind. That's not nice, but it's not. We have to concentrate on the game. It's the only thing we do to have influence, really positive influence on the situation, is to win the next football game. And in this case, it's against Man United. We cannot bring it out. That would not help. You can imagine that we really want to get there 1
Peters Hall, a Liverpool player back in the possession, Manchester United.
You don't have to talk about
he's another young player. I was going to get embraced. I think he's been excellent since.
If you don't know,
replacing Antonio Valencia
would be really important. Really, that's the easy part of the game. Before games like this, the boys know.
Luke Shaw.
Now we have to play them, of course, the football side of the game, but
stops the Liverpool counter-attack.
Ricky Lambert. Space again for Raheem Sterling, trying to slip it through to Coutinho. Looking to return the favour from a few moments ago. But the same result, Manchester United managed to clear the ball away.
I can't really remember that game, to be honest, too many games in between. I know that they made a few fantastic saves, so we didn't play bad. we were not. Yeah, we were a little bit more.
Won't be out wide, but will be in a central position.
But
and that number 10 role, the tip of the diamond.
Didn't have many chances, so that's
play that way.
a very important part of the game. So I don't. But the last game
most
against
attacking players want to play in that position, don't they? They're all fighting over it.
That's not really my
Whatever
They
club.
played a few more games since then, and we did the same.
Well, United have a few
different teams, if you want. Not only because of one or two new players in. It's really rare that I use the last game for the preparation.
Any position Sterling plays, he has to be in a position where he can get the ball facing the goal that he is attacking.
And when they will defend wherever they want to defend. That's how it is.
Good pace, comfortable going both sides.
And to protect.
Excellent tournament. I thought his reputation remained intact. One of the few England players in the World Cup as well.
To defend these situations, because it's really the individual quality, I all know, is outstanding. They have a very good result. With a not that good game, how they know, against Crystal Palace, being 2-0 down, but then having that comeback. That's a big, that gives them for sure a big boost. And so
a big money purchase by Manchester United. In the first half, concerns about his fitness levels.
Really.
He's been terrific since he's been on tonight. Looks made for that left wing, that position, doesn't he?
I don't think that we need an extra bit, to be honest, but yes, going to the next round is a fantastic achievement, how you could see. I think everybody saw Tottenham playing against Wednesday.
Rooney's arriving!
What it showed us.
That's a special finish away, Rooney!
Nearly everything. They count by experience.
He had to angle it perfectly.
Made their experience over the last decade.
Manchester United are right back. Liverpool's face.
Exactly the same team, of course, but a few
best attacking move in the second half. Clearly for Manchester United. Good pass out wide.
So
a terrific cross from Javi Hernandez. Not too much to aim for in the box. Just Wayne Rooney drifts it towards that far post. His left foot. It's a really difficult finish. It doesn't go for power.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.
With Lovren, been a positive start to this game for the away side as they just work it back towards halfway. Oxlade-Chamberlain pressed in the 2-0 win over Newcastle.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to...
To the Liverpool faithful with some all-energy and very committed displays. Van Dijk. Dejan Lovren. Now Oxlade-Chamberlain. Here's Milner, scored a penalty in the 1-1 draw between the sides last season. Late equaliser came from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It's the only 2 goals scored in the last 3 games between these two sides. All 3 under Jose Mourinho and Jurgen Klopp. 2 0-0s at Anfield. Chan just showed a bit too much of that to Valencia. And Valencia's writhing in pain on the floor, and he may be lucky to get away with further censure here. Emre Can. Craig Pawson is the referee.
Yeah, overruns the ball here. He actually plays the ball. It's his momentum that takes him into him. Watch, he plays the ball with his right foot and then collides into him. That's not a foul. Well, it shouldn't be.
Emre Can, who says this week he's put all contract negotiations on hold. I'm thinking only of football, he says. His contract expires, of course, at the end of the season. He has been free since January to sign a pre-contract elsewhere, is yet to do so. Rashford, his first Premier League start since Boxing Day, the first opportunity he's had to run at that Liverpool defence. Mata wins the ball back for the home side.
Good work by Salah, doing his defensive duties well. It's important from Liverpool's point of view, if they're going to have a lot of possession, it's important that their forward players into United's hands a little bit.
Curling ball from Matic looking for Alexis, and the flag goes up once Alexis went to play the ball. Offside, free kick to Liverpool. Nemanja Matic, of course, with that dramatic late winner at Crystal Palace on Monday night. It's actually Alexis's 3rd Premier League appearance against Liverpool this season. He played in both games for Arsenal, the last of which we were at the incredible 3-3 draw just before Christmas. In fact, it started the Christmas festive fixture programme. Liverpool led 3-0, they were pegged back, no, 2-0, and they were pegged back to 3-0, and they got a 3-3 draw. Jurgen Klopp admitting we have quite a job to do. It's the biggest game I can imagine, he says. Not a battle of systems or philosophies, just two very good teams who face each other. He says, over 90 minutes, we want to bring our football to the pitch. He's enjoyed a good record against Jose Mourinho. Mourinho's only won 1 of the 8 meetings they've had. That's the lowest win percentage he's had against any other manager he's faced at least 5 times. But 3 stalemates in the Premier League with these 2 clubs. Klopp did beat Mourinho during the closing stages of his second spell at Chelsea. Young.
Commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take...
He seems to have grown in confidence lead with the partnership.
To score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting.
We've all been critical of him.
Many other of our exciting mark.
So was the thing of he wants to go to Stoke on a wet and windy Monday night there, but I never won at their place one day.
So with some ease. Terrific run down the right-hand side. For
our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result.
Down that right-hand side for Liverpool.
My question would be, where did he think he was? Because he's nearly always where he was. You know, when Firmino comes short, I think the boys talked about it in the studio. He likes to come short, pick the ball up, and that enables the other 2 either side of him to make those runs forward and put the full-backs under pressure. Important that they stay wide, as Graham said before the game, at times, and then come in to release the full-backs to get forward on other occasions.
Robertson. Inside Matic, who was fouled by Roberto Firmino.
Manchester United are doing well, absorbing the pressure, and also Rashford there. We saw that example of him breaking forwards. That's obviously an outlet for them to try and get in behind Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side there.
I think actually the game has panned out how we thought it would do already. You know, United happy to just let Liverpool come onto them. And also, how many times in commentary have you said Rashford's name, Lukaku's name, Alexis' name, Arlo? Not many, and that'll probably come because against Chelsea we didn't in the first half against them either.
Firmino. There's Salah. This time he's really had an opportunity to get on the ball. Can't find a teammate though, and here's Matic for Manchester United.
Excellent work, Arlo.
All down the middle looking for Lukaku. He's got to be careful here, Robertson. The arm was across the shoulder of Romelu Lukaku, and then the anticipation by the Scottish fullback was excellent. Lukaku, to an extent, got the monkey off his back in terms of scoring against Big Six opponents. He got a goal and an assist against Chelsea. That was his first time against a Big Six opponent for Manchester United. It is a stick used to beat him, isn't it, in terms of his record? The term over here is flat track bully, which is a cricketing term, which means that you fare well against limited opposition in good conditions. And when it gets a bit more difficult, you struggle. But he's a player that was lauded by his manager, Jose Mourinho, who calls him his sergeant. Major, one of the guys I trust, I love his attitude, I love his character, and he put him back to centre-back at Crystal Palace late in the game after they'd scored the 3rd goal to go 3-2 up, with no complaints. And I think in Romelu Lukaku he sees leader material. And here come Liverpool. Salah won't get to that one. Smalling's going to have to deal with that, and it's out for a corner. I think he expected the call from his goalkeeper. Didn't get it.
And again, that's the movement from Liverpool's creative players there. It causes confusion, stretches players, and you start to lose your orientation on the pitch a little bit when you're getting moved all over the place. I was going to say earlier about McTominay. He made a very important interception. His role is vital in there from a defensive point of view for United.
The two centre-backs certainly offer a threat from set pieces. Van Dijk scoring on his debut in the FA Cup against Everton. He's gone to the near post. It sails over his head. It sails over everybody's head, and it's a goal kick.
Well, that's a great ball. That's a really good area. If you're not going to hit the near post, that's the second best place to hit it. And it's got a decent... Look at the space. Everyone goes near post. Just look at that. It's crying out for someone to come in at that far post.
I think it's Lovrenly on the edge of the box. He started his run, got blocked off, and then didn't fight his way to get that space, because, as you rightly say, it was a wonderful ball in. Perfect.
Well, it's an excellent flick on by Lukaku. And here's Rashford on his right foot. Rashford! Oh, what a finish! His first start since Boxing Day. And Marcus Rashford, the Mancunian, puts United ahead against Liverpool. That is a dream start for Jose Mourinho's side.
Well, just look at the flick on. The young boy takes a chance. Can I get behind inside the fullback? He's onside. Once he gets here, gets the right side of him, the young lad. But Rashford's got one thing in his mind. Can I make him come past my left foot? And that enables me to check onto my favoured right foot. Just there. And that's a brilliant finish from the young lad. He's already gone. Alexander-Arnold's nowhere near him in the end, because he knows exactly what he's going to do. To be fair to the young fullback, he's got to try and stop the cross. He thinks he's coming in with his left, and he almost runs too far past him, and that enables the space to open up. And after that, it's a brilliant finish.
Marcus Rashford, made in Manchester. His 5th Premier League goal of the season. He'd only scored 6 in his previous 54. And listen to Old Trafford. Here they come again. Valencia. Lukaku was in between the centre-backs. Still Valencia. Slides it through. And Van Dijk will get there just ahead of Alexis, and Loris Karius able to smother.
A couple of mistakes by Alexander-Arnold. First of all, his position for the flick on. He was outside Rashford. A young player, as Lee rightly says, got a lot, going to learn from these mistakes. The second bit was much harder because he had to hedge his bets about which way Rashford was going to go.
Emre Can looking for Salah. The ball allowed to bounce with comfort in the end by Chris Smalling.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't as a full-back in that area, because if you hold back and stop him checking on his right foot to get the shot away, and he goes outside you and puts a cross in, and Lukaku or whoever puts it in the net, you say, oh, stop the cross. So it's about which is the most obvious one and trying to stop the most dangerous one. And on that occasion, he just let Rashford go onto that right foot. As soon as he had the space, you felt sure he would hit the target.
There's a live top 5 in the top left-hand of your screens, and it would see Manchester United in a very, very comfortable position in second place. And in the bigger picture, yep, they'd be delighted to finish second in behind Manchester City. They won't be delighted with the City winning the title, but tonight, if it stays like that, look at the gap to Chelsea in 5th. That's the all-important statistic.
He's got 5 white-shirted Liverpool teammates to aim at. Salah is there as well. He stepped over it. Milner plays the ball in. Did Bailly get a touch? I don't think he did. It's kept in anyway by Firmino on the near side. Firmino crosses towards Mane, who jumps as high as he can, but the ball has gone over his head and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to hit the ball far post, you want your big players, the Van Dijks and the Lovrens to get some movement. And I think Firmino, by keeping the ball in play, doesn't get the movement in the middle. And once he whisks it to that far post, there's only Sadio Mane at the far post. He's not the biggest of players, although he's in a decent position against Ashley Young, and maybe should have done a little bit better. It was just one of those that Firmino may have overcooked slightly.
Ball is back in play. Here's Rashford, the goal scorer for United, just pushing it to Matic, who finds Sanchez. Sanchez plays a clever ball diagonally in towards Mata, who picks out Rashford again. His first touch was heavy, and it allowed a covering challenge to get the ball away to safety, but United are sensing a second goal here, potentially.
Yeah, I think they've got a feeling that Liverpool are struggling, and looking at them now, Van Dijk's so slow to get back into position. They've had to sort of cover around with midfield players, and they are on the wobble, Liverpool.
Here's Rashford. Such a foul throw by Ashley Young,
isn't it?
I've seen quite a lot of foul throws recently. I find it bizarre.
I've seen
player
hundreds
doesn't know how to take a throw.
I've seen hundreds of them all season, and they don't get picked up on. I'm amazed.
No, it's extraordinary, isn't it? We're just looking at the goal again. I mean, Rashford does really well. He heads it down initially, then a lovely little flick inside of Alexander-Arnold, and the finish was absolutely unerring into the corner. You're pointing at Van Dijk.
Yeah, you just look at his movement, Van Dijk. It just gives Rashford one-on-one. He's actually suggesting to Alexander-Arnold, you deal with it, you get on with it. Whereas he should be covering, he should be getting a lot closer. OK, Rashford's done really well, and he still may have got the shot away, but his defensive duties were poor. He doesn't get across close enough to do both jobs, and when you're under pressure, that's what you need to be doing.
£75 million defender, you're right, he just hung back, didn't he, expecting Alexander-Arnold to tidy up. Liverpool have just made an awful cross-field ball, and well, we're being told that they've had 65% of the possession, but that really doesn't tell the story of the opening 20 minutes at all, really, does it? Because they haven't done a huge amount with it.
No, and I think that possession stats for me are a bit bizarre, because it can mean, I think it should be possession in the opponent's half. I don't see the point of having possession in your own half, because you can't score from your own half.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, you can get back fours just knocking around
and that's
between themselves.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't contribute anything. Here's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for Liverpool, a goal down and looking to get back on terms. James Milner with a cross in from the right-hand side. Good clearance by Matic, though, on the volley, almost up to halfway, where it's controlled by Robertson. He finds Emre Can. Can being driven backwards by the attentions of Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez is a little overzealous there, pulling back on Emre Can.
I love it when you see two players doing that. Can's using his body to keep the opposing player away from the ball. Sanchez is doing everything he can just to make it unnerve him, get a little.
Nice looking turn by Milner, battling against Chris Smalling. Ball might break for Mane. Good block tackle on Rashford. There's the cross by Milner. It was a very good one. It's allowed to run through in the end by De Gea. Firmino, the closest Liverpool shirt to it.
That's what Milner will give you a little bit more of than Henderson. He will just drift forward at times, and he gets himself in a great position here. What a ball that is.
I think from Jurgen Klopp's point of view, the disappointment would be that the three forwards for Liverpool just haven't been involved. OK, we talked about Liverpool having good possession, starting the game well, but even in that period, they weren't affecting the game, the front three, and I think that's where we know Liverpool can be so effective. We've got to get better.
Ball is in Liverpool's half, but they've managed to clear it and find James Milner, who pushes it forward to Sadio Mane. He's found Oxlade-Chamberlain with a bit of space. That's a decent ball in towards Firmino, but Valencia's got the measure of him. Two South Americans coming together there, and it was the Ecuadorian who got the ball away from the Brazilian, but at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, that's good defending by Valencia, and I think Alexander-Arnold can learn a bit about defending one-on-one inside your own box when you're under a little bit of pressure. You have to be stronger, and you have to deal with the situation.
We're at the midway point in the first half. Liverpool have a corner. Again, Van Dijk and Lovren are up there. Milner is going to take the corner with his right foot and try and get some curl to swing it into the danger area. That's what he's done! And it's wide from Van Dijk. Liverpool's first real chance of the game. It was a beautiful delivery from the corner by Milner. Van Dijk just peeled away, and it Well, it was a presentable chance. I don't think he can get enough of his head around the ball. And in the end, he's tried to steer it inside the post, but it's gone wide.
Yes, just an arm has come up from Matic just before he makes contact with the ball, and he mistimes his header. Actually comes off his shoulder in the end. If he makes contact with his head, it's a goal all day long. He's only 4 yards out. Should have scored.
Yes, it bumped off his left shoulder instead of his forehead. It's the first real chance that Liverpool have created. Here's Mane, Bailly getting there in front of Firmino, and Mata just playing the ball out to Valencia, who safety first goes all the way back to David De Gea with that familiar ponytail, wearing white boots and dressed all in black. Drives the ball forward up towards Lukaku, who wins the ball well, strongly. Still it's Lukaku. Lukaku to Mata. Now Rashford! He's done it again! It's another superb finish by Marcus Rashford, and Manchester United are 2-0 up. Lukaku again involved with his aerial strength, but Marcus Rashford has produced another super finish, and it's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0.
We're going to give it to Lukaku again, and Jose Mourinho for the tactics. It's a long ball forward. Lukaku's given Van Dijk and Lovren all sorts of problems. Great running from deep by Juan Mata. He's tried to take the ball on through the gap between the two centre-backs. It's ricocheted nicely for Marcus Rashford, who has finished quite clinically. It's a great finish. He's had a little bit of luck. There's a slight deflection off Alexander-Arnold, but it's got into the back, and United have completely steamrolled at Liverpool in these opening 24 minutes.
Well, it was billed as the artists against the artisan. It was billed as the Liverpool Rolls-Royce against the Manchester United bus, but it's the United fans who are celebrating around Old Trafford with a devastating opening 25 minutes in which Marcus Rashford, watched by the England manager Gareth Southgate. There have been questions about whether Rashford is playing enough football regularly to warrant a place in the England team. Well, I think Gareth Southgate might have got his answer today, because both finishes were superb.
For sure, and we were talking about it before the kick-off, and I said about Marcus Rashford, he's the type of player, needs an arm round his shoulder, he needs a bit of time, game time, he needs to play on a regular basis, and he hasn't been doing that. But when he's given the chance, well, we've seen how good he can be.
Milner's tried to flick it through for Liverpool, but not much is going right for them. They've had one opportunity, a header by Van Dijk wide. Other than that, Manchester United, who started the first 10 minutes fairly undistinguishedly, have turned it around certainly. And here's the man who's got both goals, Rashford, finding Young. Oh, Young's just caught in possession a little bit there by Firmino. It might come on for Liverpool here down the right-hand side. Firmino with the cross. Bailly very neatly in front of Mane, does the right thing, just side puts it out of play for a corner.
Yeah, and when you're in trouble, that's all you do. Bailly's done ever so well here. He's got back into a great position. He's aware of where Mane is, and he just gets to the ball first and steers it wide. Mane couldn't quite get a decent ball in as well by Firmino. So Liverpool coming back. The one thing I would say at 2-0, you can't write Liverpool off.
No, there's so much firepower in their team. Here's the corner. It's headed away by Rashford. He's involved in everything at the moment, but it's come back out to James Milner on this wide left. He was caught late though by Juan Mata. It's going to be a free kick.
Rashford, I think, got him as well.
To Liverpool. Yeah, there was a convergence of three players there. Who's got the yellow card? Is it Rashford? I think it is.
I don't think you can complain. There was him and Juan Mata going for the ball.
Oh, yes.
It's just a lunge, isn't it? Mata sticks a leg out, but Rashford actually takes off. And I think when you do that, there's nothing more you can expect. No. But you can understand the adrenaline rush. He just scored 2 goals at home for his loved team, and the adrenaline is booming in his body, but he's just made a mistake. That's when you need a little bit of experience, like Mata's shown.
2 goals and a booking then for Rashford so far. Liverpool have a corner. It's going to be Salah from the flank to drive it in. United deal with it comfortably. It comes out to Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's a useful ball towards Firmino, who's done brilliantly to keep it in, and he's won himself a corner off Matic. Good play by Firmino. Lovely touch to control the ball in the air, and then he's won a corner for his team.
It shows United that they can't switch off. You know, the ability that Liverpool have got going forward, it shows that they have got to stay focused and concentrated.
Well, A bit of Liverpool pressure now.
Let's see where this corner goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Dejan Lovren here. If it goes in the centre, it's an outswinger this time.
From Milner. It's very deep. It's headed by Lovren up in the air and then away by Smalling. Comes out to Oxlade-Chamberlain, who steers it back to Robertson. Robertson with a clever pass out to Firmino. Firmino's got Milner. He's ignored him. He's shot low. It's Liverpool's first attempt on target. It was never going to beat David De Gea down low to gather at the near post comfortably.
Now, need something a little bit special. Good ball by Robertson initially to switch the play and give Liverpool a chance for the shot, but the shot was not anywhere near dangerous enough that causes De Gea any problems. But you know, again, just gives them a bit of encouragement, the Liverpool players.
Sanchez can't keep the ball in on the far side. Liverpool have a throw in. Well, as it stands, Manchester United would be only, and I use the word only in a slightly sarcastic manner, 13 points behind Liverpool, but all they can do is keep trying to win games. More crucially, perhaps, were this game to be won by Manchester United, they would be 5 points above Liverpool between second and third, and well, crucially, they would be 12 ahead of Chelsea. But of course, Chelsea have Palace at home later this afternoon, so this could be a very, very big win for Manchester United, who only qualified for the Champions League last season via the Europa League, of course. Their position in the league wasn't good enough, so the minimum requirement really from any season is to get into that Champions League by rights, and this game could take them a big step towards achieving that aim.
Well, it's a big game for them now at 2-0 United, and you just feel that there's not many teams that could come back and take the points away from them, but I tend to feel Liverpool are one of those teams that could possibly do that.
Definitely.
That's as long as United don't get another.
They've had half an hour. Oh, that's a beautiful ball by Sanchez to Mata. Mata to Lukaku. Lukaku through towards Sanchez. He nutmegged Lovren with the pass. Sanchez couldn't quite get onto it. That was a lovely move by Manchester United. Really good play by them. Liverpool survived.
Yeah, they're looking bright, aren't they? Man United playing with confidence, starting to fizz the ball around, using Lukaku a lot. They're playing the ball off him, and they've got players running beyond him all the time, which is causing Liverpool all sorts of problems.
Mata again involved. He's been terrific. He had a hand in the Rashford goal, albeit via a deflection which came off a defender via his touch. Alexander-Arnold down the line towards Oxlade-Chamberlain for Liverpool. He finds Milner. Milner first time, but intercepted by McTominay. Milner recovers and finds Robertson. This is Firmino. Gets past by Roberto Firmino, and again the shot is on target, but straight at De Gea, who makes another comfortable save.
Well, it's half a chance, isn't it? Okay, you know, you don't very often see players smashing it in from distance these days, but you know, he's got himself into a good position. You know, 25 yards from goal, dead centre. Maybe he should have got it closer to one of the posts, but it was straight at De Gea, and it was easy for him in the end.
Mourinho trying to shield the ball away has been found guilty of a push, and it'll be a free kick to Liverpool, which they've taken quickly. Well, they've had 2 shots on target each, but the quality of the shots has been rather different. Rashford with 2 unerring finishes into the net, and Liverpool with 2 long-range efforts straight at De Gea, which will easily save. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain finding Mane. Mane just wriggling away from Sanchez. He's got support from Robertson near side. Scottish international plays it back into Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. This is Chan, straight back to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Thought about a shot, but instead found Roberto Firmino. He finds Milner. Now Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool putting a few moves together now. It's Mane. That's a poor ball. He's played it down the inside left channel, looking for Salah. He's nowhere near him, and De Gea will gather comfortably.
Yeah, he's had one of those games for me at the moment, Mane, where, especially early on in the game, he was making good runs and not receiving the ball at all, but started waving his arms in the air. I'm not too sure the other players are totally happy with that situation. You have to work through it if it's not happening for you. It just isn't at the moment for Mane.
just got a glimpse on our monitors of a section of the crowd which features 3 Liverpool greats: Robbie Fowler, Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush. And it's fair to say none of them are looking particularly happy at the moment.
No, they don't come much bigger than those 3, do they?
They don't. Here's Rashford finding Matic, and now Sanchez treads on the ball and trips over and loses possession. Here's Mane in the centre circle for Liverpool, gives it away to Sanchez. Sanchez plays it forward, good looking ball towards Rashford. He's on a hat-trick, of course.
Yeah, just struggling a bit with his choice of passing, Mane.
Yes.
Twice now he could have shifted it wide and simple pass was on.
Mata plays a 1-2 with Rashford and finds Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez with a clever ball scooped over the top. Rashford's onside, is he? No, he's not. The whistle's blown. Thought he was initially, but the flag went up near side. And it's a free kick to Liverpool with 33.5 minutes played at Old Trafford. And what's been so far a very satisfying lunchtime for the Manchester United fans. 14 minutes and 24 minutes they saw Rashford score 2 excellently taken goals. For Liverpool, no responses yet. Forward by Lovren towards Mane. Valencia heads clear. Clearance is completed by Smalling. Here's Matic, centre midfield. Again, Sanchez is off balance and loses the ball. This is Salah. Good tackle by Young. But the clearance only finds Alexander-Arnold, who crosses into the United box not very well. Easy for Smalling just to dip down and clear with a diving header.
Just struggling with their final passes.
That was another foul throw. It wasn't picked up, it? Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, but they're just struggling to find the final pass, final touch. McTominay with a good challenge now, wins a free kick, and Oxlade-Chamberlain receives a yellow card. A little bit harsh, but they're just struggling, Liverpool. The only thing I would say, if Liverpool can keep it at 2-0, you tend to feel they can do a lot better, especially going forward, than they have done. And they know they've got the firepower up front, but it's not working for them at the moment. You just feel second half they could come into it. They can get the next goal. It will lift their hopes of getting something out of the game. But for the moment, it's all about United.
Yep. Looking for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, joining Marcus Rashford in referee Craig Pawson's book. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Here's Lukaku, who's had a hand in both goals with some powerful centre-forward play, and he's driving forward here. It's a great run by Lukaku, but it was pinched off his toe by Sadio Mane, who again
finds a red shirt.
Yeah,
it's amazing how many times he's passed through the Man United team. Firmino's done really well.
Yeah, but then Bailly's been a bit over-elaborate there with a drag back. I think he got a bit carried away. He got past his man initially and then he lost it, and Liverpool have it back now with Robertson. Mane hasn't found his range at all yet. He's on the ball here, hoping to improve. Does find Oxlade-Chamberlain with the square ball infield. Robertson, left-hand side for Liverpool, down the line towards Milner. It's too long, and Bailly will just shepherd it away from James Milner, who, of course, in the eyes of the Manchester United fans, committed the unpardonable sin of playing for both Liverpool and Manchester City.
He's got no chance then, has he?
I don't think it'll bother him. He's not the sort that gets fazed by that kind of thing. James Milner. He's 33 years of age now. And a player who's not renowned necessarily for his goal scoring. He has been a thorn in United's side in the past. He scored 4 goals in his career against United. Here's Valencia. He's lost the ball. He lost sight of it completely, and Firmino knew where it was and picked it up. And Milner has found Oxlade-Chamberlain. Bit of space for Liverpool. Really good interception by Chris Smalling for Manchester United to intercept that through ball. Because just for a moment, Liverpool were looking for a way through, but they couldn't find it. Manchester United back four's been pretty good so far, haven't they? Bailly, Smalling, and Valencia in particular.
Yeah, they've been really good. I tell you, he's been good for them as well. Lukaku, he's really upset the Liverpool back four. And Jurgen Klopp downstairs, he's absolutely battering his defenders at the moment to give the team a little bit more.
Here's Salah.
This fella needs to get on the ball as well. Salah, he's done absolutely nothing.
I was just going to say he's given them plenty this season, but not very much today. Here's Chan finding Mane. Mane away from McTominay. But Matic uses his strength. Referee says no foul. Ashley Young brings it forward, finds Alexis Sanchez. United on the front foot again. He finds Rashford out wide, midway inside the Liverpool half. Square ball to Lukaku, who with a touch finds young Scott McTominay. Support from Antonio Valencia for Manchester United, who spreads it out brilliantly to Sanchez. Sanchez scoops it into the box. Mata! Oh, on the Viking.
Is a surprise.
Yes, he went for the glory shot and it scuffed off his left in the air and went wide in the end. That might, if that gone in, you'd strongly feared for Liverpool. 3-0 down just before half-time, as it is, it's only 2.
The only thing I would say as well, Virgil van Dijk has been awful in this first half, and you wonder about, you know, okay, he's cost a lot of money, but you know what the mentality is of him at the moment as Robertson comes forward.
He's pushed it too far in front of himself, and he's got Eric Bailly sweeping it clear. Here is Van Dijk, who I agree hasn't covered himself with glory today.
I think his big concern is Lukaku, and I think he needs to get away from that. I think maybe the manager has turned around and said to him, you know, keep an eye on Lukaku. Lukaku's beating him in the air with long balls forward. He's now beating him for challenges. He's getting to the ball first. He's dragging him out of position. You know, you've got to read the game as it is. You can't expect the manager to expect the game to be in a certain fashion. If it changes, deal with it on the pitch, and he's not.
Oxlade-Chamberlain square ball cut out by Juan Mata for Manchester United. Yeah, brilliant. McTominay, ball is too long. It's a well-intentioned pass, which is applauded by Alexis Sanchez, but it didn't end up in United possession, and Liverpool have it with Dejan Lovren. 5 minutes to go to half-time at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. Both goals Marcus Rashford with considerable venom. Here's Firmino finding Oxlade-Chamberlain, wants to shoot. It's deflected off Smalling. Young will prevent it from going for a corner by hooking it out for a throw on the far side. So Liverpool with a little bit of momentum now, looking to get a goal, which would be a huge lifeline if they can find it before the interval.
I think that'd be massive. If they can get that, we're going to see a very exciting second half. Rashford just dived in on a challenge again now. I think he's got to be careful. He's won it back now.
Yes, he has been hooked. And rightly so. Here is Rashford trying to spread it forward. It's intercepted by a Liverpool player who's gone down feeling the full force of that. It was James Milner.
Got it in the face.
Yes, he got it flush in the face. And I'll tell you what, if James Milner goes down like that, it probably is not a serious injury, but it's quite a blow.
Yeah, I don't think he's expected. I think Marcus Rashford's gone for goal here. He must be 50 yards from goal, and he sees Karius off his line. I think when swinging round with the ball, I think he's got a chance to score him, but smashes against Milner. We're just getting a chance to look at the Rashford challenge a few moments ago. He's got to be so careful.
He has got to be careful because he's on a yellow, and it wasn't a clever challenge. He was fortunate actually that the Liverpool player rode it. Here come United with Sanchez trying to get there. Lovren's in the way and hooks it high into the air.
Sanchez is pulled up with the shoot.
Yes. Here's McTominay. He's one of these players that does his work sort of almost unnoticed, but is a key part of the side.
You barely mentioned him, haven't we?
No, but he's quiet and efficient, isn't he? He's not perhaps an extravagantly gifted player, but he's a sensible boy, isn't he? For his age, he's still only 21. Talked about some Liverpool greats in the crowd. We're looking at Edwin van der Sar, great Manchester United goalkeeper, of course. Here's Rashford, the man of the moment as far as the United fans are concerned today. But he's been out-muscled there by
Alexander-Arnold. He's gone to ground again. Yeah, he's gone to ground again. He doesn't need to make that sort of challenge.
Karius with the clearance up towards halfway. Matic picks it up and tries to drive forward. It's not a very good ball. It's intercepted by Liverpool, and who's shaken off the bang on the ear comes forward across halfway, clips it forward to Mane. It's fair to say hasn't had the best of hearts, but that's a decent ball to Robertson. Robertson low in. Salah was there, but so too was Young, and Ashley Young got across with his right foot and scooped it away from danger.
Good defending, but great ball in by Robertson. They've got to do more, Liverpool. Salah's got to get across his man. Not seeing enough from him.
No. Milner near side. Robertson Robertson low in towards Firmino, trying to trick his way into the box. He's done that. He clips it up again. It's Ashley Young making the interception with his head this time. Sanchez trying to get the better of Emre Can, but Can has won the ball and finds Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool are finishing the half strongly. There are 2 minutes of it remaining, plus stoppage time, of which there won't be a huge amount, I don't think. Firmino, clever ball into the box, but Mata's got the measure of it. Could have left that for De Gea, but he opted to clear it.
Communication
and Liverpool have it back with Salah on the edge of the box, but Young has tackled him only as far as Alexander-Arnold, though. Another challenge this time by Smalling. Liverpool still have the momentum. It's Andrew Robertson finding Roberto Firmino, fast near side of the 18-yard box. Robertson round the outside, gets the cross in, it's blocked. And Antonio Valencia's interception means for the corner for Liverpool. Ashley Young's just got a pat on the head from David De Gea. He's made a couple of very, very useful interventions.
Yeah, and all credit to United, to be honest. You know, with the pressure that Liverpool have put them under, they know the half-time whistle's coming. They know this is a bad time to give the goal away, and they're really defending well.
Milner's corner. Arriving was Lovren, but his header was never anywhere near on target. And more frustration for Jurgen Klopp in the final minute of an opening half, which has largely belonged to Manchester United. Liverpool have created a couple of half chances, but nothing that's really had the Manchester United fans worried.
No, but I think if you're a Liverpool fan watching this first half, you'd be disappointed in the way they defended. This is Liverpool perhaps earlier on in the season, you feel. They've gone back to their ways then, which is a disappointment. And OK, you are going to get the odd game like that. But I think also the problem for Liverpool is you expect more from your top goal scorer, Salah. You know, and he hasn't offered absolutely anything to this first half. So I would think there'll be a conversation, should we say, between the manager and him in the break, and there's going to be maybe an improvement from Salah, because you wouldn't expect him to continue playing. The Klopp will have to do something at some stage.
2 minutes to be added on, you're right. Liverpool certainly haven't parked the tricycle or something. Hasn't been a solid object for them.
I just think the two central defenders have been poor, and both of them being poor gives the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. But for me, it all stems from Virgil van Dijk and his covering and his way of dealing with things. You have to deal with it as a team, and as a pair at the back, they just haven't done that.
Ashley Young's given it away. Salah is then pushed by Matic. It's a free kick to Liverpool, just inside their own half, wide on the right-hand side. Mourinho is still scribbling copious notes. I think he's probably on his second pad now. It's got a Manchester United crest on the front of it, so I presume he gets them free rather than having to go to the station.
He went shopping in the club shop before the game.
Here's Milner finding Sadio Mane, who hasn't had a great half, it's fair to say. Cleared by Smalling, up toward halfway. Lukaku again wins the header. Jabbed back forward by Liverpool, but inaccurately so. It's gone out of play, and it looks as if Manchester United are going to reach half-time with a handsome lead. Lukaku just holding his small of his back and grimacing slightly as
I think he's loving
walks away.
I think he's loving
it. He's won all the battles.
He's won everything today, and if he gets a whack just before the break, I bet he thinks, well, that's 44 minutes too late. He must be thinking, I've dealt with these two central defenders. He probably feels that it's going to get worse in the second half. But here goes Mane.
Here's Mane down the inside left channel, pursued by he's driven him out wide and eased the situation, but it's not over yet for United. Robertson, Mane again, swirls it in from the near side. It's headed away from Young by Salah. There's the half-time whistle. And what an excellent half it's been for Manchester United in the 200th minute between these two clubs. It is Marcus Rashford who's been the headline act with 2 goals, both brilliantly taken. The first on 14 minutes, the second on 24, and it's put United in very strong position going into half-time. It's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at talksport.com in English, Spanish under in every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit talksport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Gets away from another. Comes into the top corner. It is a moment of Merseyside magic from Mo Salah. He's done it again. His 19th of the season.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
With the throw in the penalty area. Dips one. Oh, that is a magnificent goal from Jermaine Defoe. Absolutely stunning from Jermaine Defoe.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Lanzini back to Arnautovic. He's inside the box. There is his first goal for West Ham. Arnautovic took it beautifully. He curled it low past Courtois.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Rolls it into the feet. Little layup. Arfield can get past about 5 minutes. 1-0. Arfield opens the scoring in the 45th minute. Burnley strike against the 10-man of Watford.
Every game is covered.
Moy lifts it in left-footed. It's a deep cross. It's headed on by Meunier. And it's 2 for Meunier. Well, like London buses, the goals are now pouring in for Steve Meunier.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Good shot, goal! Dwight Gales put Newcastle level. Crisp low shot from the edge of the penalty area. Low pass, Schmeichel in a flag.
This is Premier League Live.
Crosses to Olivier Giroud. Equaliser for Arsenal. And as so often, Olivier Giroud off the bench to rescue Arsene Wenger.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live. Brought to you by TalkSport Live.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game involves the two things in life you love the most:
football and money.
Exactly predict 10 or more Premier League scores and win £1 million sterling.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game.
Register now at talksport.com/predictor and play for free throughout the season. Win £1 million sterling.
£1 million.
Players must be 18 or over. See talksport.com/predictor for full conditions.
Well, welcome back. You'll be enjoying your cup of tea if you're a Manchester United fan on this first Premier League game of this Saturday, because they lead by 2-0. This is how it panned out. Now then, here's a flick on towards Rashford. Rashford in the box. Marcus Rashford! Oh, that's a marvellous goal! He smashed it unerringly into the corner with his right foot, and Manchester United have the lead. Drives the ball forward up towards Lukaku, who wins the ball well, strongly. Still it's Lukaku. Lukaku to Mata. Now Rashford! He's done it again! It's another superb finish by Marcus Rashford, and Manchester United are 2-0 up. Support from Antonio Valencia for Manchester United, who spreads it out brilliantly to Sanchez. Sanchez in the box, Mata! Oh, on the volley, acrobatically has put it. Did he make it too difficult for himself? Well, those were the highlights, and Manchester United probably deserving of their 2-0 lead. Liverpool were a little bit lacklustre, and I suspect, Clive, that Jurgen Klopp's half-time talk may be a little more feisty than that of Jose Mourinho.
Wouldn't you just love to be a flyer? Yes, I think so for sure. Defensively, down. You know, they've let Jurgen Klopp down. We know what they're like going forward, but you've got to stop the goals going in at the back, and it's been, I wouldn't say necessarily too easy for United, but when the opportunity's been there, they've exploited it. I think by some poor defending by the two centre-backs, have left the goalkeeper exposed, and they've got their goals, and as we all know, goals change games. Liverpool need obviously a little bit more second half. They need more from their forwards for sure, which we know how exciting they can be. So there's a lot more in Liverpool if they can get time on the ball. But you know, United have got the start they needed at this moment in time, but we often say 2-0 is a strange scoreline at half-time, because you switch off sometimes, you don't think that the other team are going to come back, they come out of the blocks, get the next goal, and the momentum is with them, and it's very difficult then to pick it back up again, so United need to start quickly as well.
So for you, overall, Liverpool poor rather than United outstanding?
I don't think United have been outstanding. I think they've been good, and rightly so. They're at the top of the table. They are one of the best sides in the Premier League. So they've been good, but I think poor defence by Liverpool, that they could have stopped these goals, both goals for me, on a couple of occasions, and I think that will disappoint Jurgen Klopp, and I think that's the case. It's Liverpool poor defending, and United have been good without being excellent.
United got a comfortable lead, given the sort of players that Liverpool have. It's, as you say, it's not a slender lead, but it's a lead that a goal from a Salah or a Firmino or a Mane might make rather more slender.
Well, I think Liverpool have got the ability, haven't they, with these three players up front, to score against anybody at any time, and I think you need that little bit of a lift. I think Liverpool walked in, for me, into the dressing rooms round-shouldered, heads down, very despondent. They need picking up, and they need to lift from their manager or lift themselves, as a group of players, say, come on, we can do better. I mean, everybody in the country and around the world probably know can play better than they did in that first half. The question is, can they stop United scoring again with the way that the two centre-backs for me have performed? So give some credit to Lukaku as well. He hasn't got on the score sheet, but he's insisted in both, and he's been a thorn in their side.
And you're slightly concerned about Rashford. He's got 2 goals, but he's picked up a booking. He's made a couple of silly challenges. He's going to be very careful second half.
Yeah, a little bit of naivety from me, and I think that adrenaline rush of scoring goals, he's back in the side, he's enjoying himself, everything is being positive in that respect, but just a couple of times, having been booked, he's gone to ground when he doesn't need to, and he can stay on his feet. If he stays on his feet, more often than not, you get away with it, especially being a forward as well, but he's gone to ground, he's slid in, and if this is just the occasion when his foot is slightly too high, he could quite easily.
Yeah, he could be in a little bit of trouble. We've got 6 more Premier League games coming for you. Our feature game of the 3 o'clock kickoffs is at the London Stadium. It's West Ham United, still relegation threatened against Burnley, who aren't in the best of form. Adam Bridge and David Connolly will be bringing you that one. Let's hear from the 2 managers ahead of that match, David Moyes and Sean Dyche.
I wasn't going to kid anybody else on. When we don't play well, then I'm going to tell people we don't play well. But there was mitigating circumstances. I think we got into the game without 3 or 4 key players, and we don't want to make excuses, but that's facts.
They are a little spell after David Moyes doing well when he first went in, it calming everything down. Good manager in my opinion, and I know Stuart Pearce well, who's a good coach, and they've got a good staff there trying to correct things as they see fit.
We get some really big wins against some of the teams around us, but we've also had a couple of defeats. But that's typical, I think, of the sort of bottom end of the league at this time.
Certainly not an easy task. We know that. They're fighting for points. We're now fighting for points for different reasons. We want to get as many points on the board as we can. We want to go beyond last season. We've now put ourselves in a great position to do that.
Well, that should be a fascinating encounter with West Ham. Certainly only 3 points away from the drop zone. It's such a huge battle down there. There's some other massive games. Huddersfield against Swansea is a 6-pointer. Newcastle against Southampton is also a 6-pointer. West Bromwich Albion, the bottom club, seemingly doomed. Well, they just have to get something, don't they, against Leicester at the Hawthorns. We've also got Everton against Brighton. Brighton did themselves a power of good with that win over Arsenal, while Everton are going backwards, it seems, under Sam Allardyce. Not really likely to get sucked into the relegation zone, but it's not where Everton want to be. And we will round it all off with the 5:30 kickoff UK time. Tom Rennie and Paul Mortimer will be bringing you all the action as Chelsea play Crystal Palace. Chelsea ahead of that massive Champions League trip to Barcelona. Crystal Palace in the midst of some horrendous fixtures. They have got Liverpool coming up, having just lost to Manchester United. So it's a huge afternoon for them as well. But we'll be back with the whole of the second half of Manchester United against Liverpool. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Gets another, curls it into the top corner. It is a moment of Merseyside from Mo Salah. He's done it again. His 19th of the season.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
With the bow in the penalty area. Dips one. Oh, that is a magnificent goal from Jermaine. Absolutely stunning from Jermaine Defoe.
Full comment, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single match.
Lanzini back to Arnautovic. He's inside the box. There is his first goal for West Ham. Arnautovic took it beautifully. He curled it low past Courtois.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Rolls it into the feet. Little layup. Arfield can get past Matt Martin. 1-0. Arfield opens the scoring in the 45th minute. Burnley's strike against the 10th man of Watford.
Every game is covered.
Boy lifts it in left-footed. It's a deep cross. It's headed on by Meunier, and it's 2 for Meunier. Well, like London buses, the goals are now pouring in for Steve Meunier.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's Gale. Good shot, goal! Dwight Gale's put Newcastle level. Crisp low shot from the edge of the penalty area. Low pass, Michael in a flag.
This is Premier League Live.
Crosses to Olivier Giroud. Equaliser for Arsenal. And as so often, Olivier Giroud off the bench to rescue Arsene Wenger.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live. Brought to you by TalkSport Live.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game involves the two things in life you love the most:
football and money.
Exactly predict 10 or more Premier League scores and win £1 million sterling.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game.
Register at talksport.com/predictor and play for free throughout the season. Win £1 million sterling.
£1 million.
Players must be 18 or over. See talksport.com/predictor for full conditions.
Welcome to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester United against Liverpool from Old Trafford. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Chelsea, Fulham and QPR winger, Clive Walker. You're listening to League Live. The Liverpool players just emerging from the corner of Old Trafford, followed by their coach, Jurgen Klopp, whose half-time team talk no doubt will have been an impassioned one. Probably not a terribly flattering one for the players, but knowing him, possibly an inspirational one as they look to salvage the situation which sees them take to the field trailing by 2 Marcus Rashford goals to 0, and with their 2 centre-halves performing and none really of their front 3 yet look scoring a goal. But when you've got 65 goals between the 3 of them over the season in all competitions, there will always be hope. United second emerge from the tunnel. Marcus Rashford just adjusting his shin pads is the last out. Scorer of goals in the 14th and 24th minutes to put United in the driving seat, it would seem, in the 200th game between these two sides. Interestingly, Manchester United, a team with the fewest goals conceded away from home, at home I should say, in the Premier League. Liverpool have scored the most away So at the moment it's the United statistic that's being brought to bear, but I'd be surprised if Liverpool didn't perhaps manage to get at least one. If they get one early in this half, it will certainly make it interesting. The referee, Craig Pawson, is waiting to get the second half underway for us. James Milner, hands on hips, standing over the ball. Liverpool are attacking the Stretford end of Old Trafford in the second half, and we're underway for the second period. No substitutions by either Jose Mourinho or Jurgen Klopp at half-time. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain trying to get Liverpool going, but it's a poor ball which forces Alexander-Arnold back. He's kept the ball in play. Ashley Young finds Nemanja. This is Alexis Sanchez in the centre circle. He's fouled. United have David De Gea in goal. A back four of Antonio Valencia, Chris Smalling, Eric Bailly, Ashley Young. The holding midfield players are Nemanja Matic and Scott McTominay. And then it's Juan Mata, Alexis Sanchez and Marcus Rashford. And up front, Romelu Lukaku. Liverpool have Loris Karius in goal. Their back four is Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Dejan Lovren and Andrew Robertson. The midfield three, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Emre Can and James Milner. Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. Thoughts on the second half, Clive?
I suppose it's
still slightly finely poised.
Yeah, it is in a way. I mean, it's all about the next goal, isn't it? I think at this stage, Mane's given it away cheaply, but they've got it back. It's just all about this next goal. You know, can Liverpool get it? Get some momentum, get the travelling fans behind them, and maybe get something out of the game. But you know, again, from United's perspective, if they can score it, you tend to feel the game will be all over. So it's one that Liverpool can't leave gaps at the back. They must defend better, and you will expect changes from Liverpool, I would think, within 10 minutes if nothing happens.
Some good tweets at half-time, actually. Igbudu Sijo says, listening at home in 35 degrees Lagos, lucky you. Marcus Rashford making it seem hotter. Come on, United. David Harris, Rashford surely has to be on the plane to Russia, dealing with more playing time than he had in the European Championships. The ball goes back to Loris Karius. Danny Boy says Liverpool will come back and take the lead. I guess is as to who he supports. He says, is Salah playing? I haven't heard him in commentary. Well, he is playing, but he's not playing very well. But Liverpool have got a corner with that Ashley Young deflecting the ball behind. And Salah with an early chance to put some pressure. They haven't really made much of the set pieces they've had so far, Liverpool.
No, they haven't, but they've actually, you know, got going well in the second half very, very quickly.
Corner, and the header is over the bar, but not by much. Virgil van Dijk meeting it at the far post, looped his header back. A few of the United defenders were concerned about where it might end up, but it ended up on the net rather than sided.
Well, he's unlucky here, Van Dijk. He's made a good run to get from Smalling, but he's actually run into Nemanja Matic, who's just checked his stride slightly. If he gets away from Matic, who he just bumped into, then he's got a free jump at this ball, because Smalling's absolutely nowhere. Much, much better.
Clearance by De Gea, headed back by Chan to Mane. Mane wrestling in midfield with McTominay. McTominay, the young Manchester United defensive midfield player, is penalised by Craig Pawson. I think the referee would have enjoyed the game so far. Nothing wildly controversial in a game which is often quite a high tempo.
Yeah, the game of I would think as a referee you go into it thinking, you know, I might have to deal with situations, but like you say, so far from his point of view, so good.
Here's Firmino. Over the top, it's not a bad ball towards Salah, who can't quite wriggle away from his man. It's hoofed away by Smalling, only as far as Chan. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain for Liverpool. 1-2 with Mane, tries to find Salah, just too long, and De Gea is out, but that was more encouraging from Liverpool.
It's a fabulous little scoop pass by Firmino that goes over the top of Smalling. And Salah for once gets beyond Ashley Young. His first touch is unlucky really, because it bounces up again, and by the time it bounces up, the United get players in and around and are able to clear, but Ashley Young just allowing Salah to get to the ball first, and that's the real first sign we've seen of Salah getting involved inside the box.
It's a lovely little flick ball by Milner. referred to, or rather included because of an injury question mark about Jordan Henderson, who's on the bench for Liverpool today, along with Adam Lallana and Jorginho Wijnaldum. Solanke Joel Matip.
Yeah, I think there's a chance you'll see Lallana at some stage, not too far away if Liverpool don't score.
Here's Mane, just drifting across on the left-hand side. Oxlade-Chamberlain's deflected shot goes behind for a corner. Hit it fairly well with his right foot, but it took a big deflection to take it off target. Off Baye, I think it was. We're just watching a replay of that lovely ball by Firmino.
I tell you what, even though I wouldn't have liked to have seen it, if Salah goes down, I think there's every chance he gets a penalty. Having seen it again, Ashley Young's alongside of him, and he's got his arm all over his shoulder.
Liverpool have a corner. James Milner will take it. It's an in-swinger from the far side. De Gea with a punch which is away from goal towards the near side. The referee stopped the game because Scott McTominay has gone down holding his head and looks in some discomfort.
It's a good punch as well by De Gea. There's about 4 or 5 players in his way, and he's got above most of them, and Lovren's come in late and just thumped into the back of his head. Has gone down quite heavily. I think it's more in the neck than the head.
It's not a very good challenge.
It's a poor
by Lovren. He's led with his arm and he's smacked into the back of his neck.
Yeah, he's just battered into whoever's in front of him, I think, and protected himself by keeping his arm up. But decent punch by De Gea. Got good distance.
Yes, it was. McTominay, the 21-year-old, is okay. And the referee's then going to take a drop ball near the touchline. We've been talking about legends in the crowd. Dennis Law is with us, one of the all-time greats of Manchester United, of course. There's a statue of he, George Best and Bobby Charlton outside the ground. One of the great trios of English football history, European football history. Here's James Milner on the far side. It's not going to reach him, though. It's away by Valencia, but that's well played by Robertson. I thought it was, but he's been penalised for a foot up, the Scottish international left fullback. And Manchester United have got a free kick inside their own half. We've got 7 minutes of the second half having elapsed. Johnny B says, loving the action from dark California. What a performance so far. Great coverage. Interested to know why California is dark. Time there, I don't know. I suppose it must be.
Yeah, they're behind us, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Here's Rashford, scorer of 2 goals for Manchester United in the first half. Finding Matic, trying to get it back to Rashford. Alexander-Arnold in the way. That's a lovely ball by Firmino. And Salah, Mane is on his way. Poor ball again. How many times has Sadio Mane given the ball away cheaply today?
Yeah, his choices of passing have been really poor, haven't they? I think he's not improving. Yeah. Just wonder what will happen when the changes come.
Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain finding Mane. Mane wants to shoot with his left foot, does shoot, but then there's a block by Baye on the edge of the box. It takes all the sting out of the shot. It takes one bounce and up into the gloves of David De Gea.
Says it all, doesn't it, when your luck's not going for you. He's got away clear here, Sane, and he's able to get a free shot with his left foot, but when your luck's going against you, that's what happens. It deflects into the goalkeeper's hands. But here comes Can.
Matic has lost it in midfield. Emre Can finding Salah. Salah on the edge of the box, can't find a way through at the moment. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, shoots again. It's blocked by Matic this time, and it falls kindly for United. Sanchez trying to find Lukaku. Well read, though, by Van Dijk, who's nipped in to win the ball back. There's a bit of fizz about the game now, with Roberto Firmino finding Salah. Salah with a lovely turn, but then eventually loses the ball. Liverpool win it back quickly, though, with Emre Can. Here's James Milner. Milner into the box. Ball in by Robertson is a good one. Liverpool fans want a handball off Antonio Valencia. Nobody else appealed, and the referee was completely unmoved. I didn't see it with the naked eye, but I don't think it was a handball.
I think he's got to the ball first, and it's bounced up and struck his arm. It's come off his leg first. I don't think you can give handball for that.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Liverpool are enjoying a decent spell here. Smalling with the header clear. Salah waits for it to drop but can't control it. And Rashford eventually hoisted out of play for Manchester United, who are very much on the back foot at the moment. And Jose Mourinho, who spent most of the first half sitting in his seat taking notes, is now hopping around. We've just watched that handball thing again. I don't. I mean, he's got his arm down by his side. It's not an unnatural position. I don't think you can give a penalty for that.
It didn't bounce up off his leg. It hit him directly. But your hands have got to be somewhere, and they were close to his body, so not a penalty for me.
I agree.
But when you're desperate, I'm sure the Liverpool players and Liverpool fans desperate to shout for anything at this stage. But again, they've been better, and as we said, I think Jose Mourinho would have said to his players at half-time, you know what, it's up to them to come out and beat us as long as we don't give anything silly away. We expect better from Liverpool in the second half. They're getting better, but at the moment can't get close enough to De Gea's goal.
Here's Firmino finding Salah. Now Oxlade-Chamberlain, good challenge though on him to take the ball away for United, but United can't get out of their own half at the moment. Here's Young making a crucial challenge to get it away from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but again he's knocked it straight out of play, and it's all Liverpool at the moment.
I'd just be a bit concerned about Lukaku at the moment. Again, we've praised him massively for the first half performance. He's not giving them any outlet at all. They are struggling to squeeze up from the back, but he's got to get himself into a better position when they do win the ball, so they're able to move up the field. But at the moment, Liverpool are just winning it back time and time again, and if they can score now, Liverpool, they will be having all the momentum going their way.
Well, it's the visiting fans in fine voice at the moment as Liverpool have it with Firmino. Sliding challenge by Bailly, only as far as Milner. Milner to Mane. Mane's got a man out wide, but he's trying to go all the way through on his own. It might be here first. Salah swept away by Smalling. Back it comes via Van Dijk. Away by Smalling again. Liverpool absolutely battering Man United at the moment. We might have a break here with Alexis Sanchez, who's played the ball across to Romelu Lukaku, who's going to catch it, I think, before it goes out of play. He does that, tries to get round Van Dijk and finds Mata. Mata driving across the centre of the field, plays a ball back into Scott McTominay, who goes back to Valencia, and United finally, A, have got a bit of possession, and B, are inside the Liverpool half.
Yeah, again taking the pressure off. A little bit of luck as well, because by losing possession, Alexander-Arnold just loses possession, and very quickly United to them and winning the ball back. But that just puts Liverpool under a bit of pressure, and they're able to release the ball. But again, Liverpool trying to get back onto the action, but it's gone out for a Man United throw.
Hal Ali H. Jesse, who's my mate, he's always concerned about my physical fitness. He says, goodness me, John, your voice is getting more husky as the match goes on. Eat a banana. It's driving me mad, this cough. Regular listeners will know I've been suffering from it virtually the whole just won't go away. I've asked for a cup of tea actually, but it hasn't arrived, so hopefully that will help me in a minute. I'm sure it's, or I hope it's not impairing your enjoyment of what is an absorbing match at the moment, with Liverpool asking all the questions.
It's on the edge, isn't it? And I think it's on the edge because Liverpool are giving it a go, which is what the fans would love to get, of course. But when we always say, when you're in the ascendancy, and they have been all this second half, you've got to score. So fair credit to Manchester United for defending strong.
Yep, so far they haven't buckled, and it's still 2-0. Those two Marcus Rashford goals inside the opening 25 continue to separate these sides as Smalling toe pokes the ball away from Mohamed Salah and then flings him to the ground.
Just look at this Salah's face. Doesn't believe in the decision, thinks he should have gotten a little bit more, but again it's getting a little bit feisty now. Liverpool getting a little bit more desperate.
Again, Mata away this time. McTominay in midfield, just trying to ease the pressure for United. Finds Rashford. Rashford rolls it down the line, chased by Alexis Sanchez, who's had another fairly anonymous game, really.
Yeah, he's not been involved enough, has he? Not been good enough on the ball, and I guess Liverpool have done a job on him, haven't they?
Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. It's come off Rashford for a throw, about 10 yards in from the corner flag on the near side.
Still been a good battle, hasn't it, Rashford against Alexander-Arnold?
It has.
Liverpool now going forward, you see him Alexander-Arnold a little bit further forward and asking Rashford to do some defensive duties, so he's still getting a little bit more of an edge to it.
Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain, inside Matic, finds Mane. Robertson far side, trying to cross on his weaker right foot, plays a ball in towards Milner. Now it's Emre Can. Can towards Mane, away by Bailly, and then Mata finds McTominay, who's bundled over by Roberto Firmino, who looks quizzically at the referee.
Don't think he's given here.
Got a tweet here from James Benitez. I'm not sure I agree with, really. Games against top six for Liverpool should be played without referees. They're destroying the game with their inability to see dives, handballs and obvious penalties. I think he's talking about the Antonio